Existential health. Existential metaphors of Tunawism introduced in the work. Ronald C. Arnold, who sought to establish the importance of dialogue in human communication. According to Arnold, existential homelessness arises at the time there are lost commonality centers and moral stories that profit a publicly known basis of which conversation can begin. The disappearance of such a story contributing to uncertainty and distrust, and also leading a person to make ethical decision and evaluation based on the position of emotivism. That, according to Alasdair McIntyre, is a time where a moral judgment is a nothing but an expression or preference expression of attitude or feelings. Clement demonstrating if left without the same center or story as the greedy. One could lose direction, or one no longer know where to turn and what option to pursue when personal preference clash. Building on the foundation to Ernest work, White Ernest Holba, hopelessness triggers the existence of homelessness. In feeling the feeling of existential homelessness, one feels embedded in it an existential distrust of the others and the world. Communicatively, the space of existential homelessness in felt in between disturbed on or like existential stranger trying to negotiate through the era parentus. In the experience, uncertainly manifest feeling of homelessness, physically and emotionally. In a state of existentially homelessness, one may feel stagnant or motionless, meandering without getting anywhere. It is the experience that one feels a failure that penetrates one existence. From experience, one uncertainty and despair might describe his communicative exchange that take place in monological vacuum. The developed Arnold and Holba work and establish a framework interpreting the fall. I want to describe four metaphor in relation to the concept of existential homelessness, self-centered dialogue, public space, and responsibilities.
General Center. Martin Buber's works provide a clear picture of the importance of the common center of human life. The essence of the actual community is found in the fact, real or not, that is has a center. The real beginning of a community is when its members have a common relationship with the center, putting aside all other relationships. Arnold's works demonstrates the importance of shared center by describing what happens when a shared center is lost or neglected. Arnold and Anderson, who were deeply affected by Buber's works, also suggest the center of common discussers is what unites people in conversation. General center, not the soul of a partner in the conversation, is fundamental. People who read the fall are faced with a character who doesn't have a shared conversation center that transcends his own interests. Dialogue. A more complete discussion of dialogue is explored in chapter 3, but this section provides some coordinate for understanding the fall with respect to this concept. The fall. Into the perspective of the interlocutors come through a filter from a Jean-Baptiste Clemens. Clemens acts as he does. It is possible to recognize that with his own recognized ability, he believed. We begin to live life narcissistically, not because we are selfish, but because of the feeling that the old moral story, the heaven of belief, is unreliable. General environment. To facilitate the kind of recognize the Kalimantan has in mind, he needs to share it in a very private event and experience in public place from an Amsterdam bar, thus contributing to the emergence of relationship therapy. According to Arnett, if we take communication therapy of a private discussion and exchange intention and application to the public arena, we invite a new dark age. In fact, privatize within individual boundaries, resulting in the devolution of collective public life. The social world is often driven by bringing items for conversation to more public space at home in the private world.